Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin. Right now we're at $8,207. And what we're going to be doing is looking in on the 4-hour chart. And as we're looking at this, I want to step back here, guys. So we're on the 4-hour time frame, but what we're looking at is the patterns of what's taking place and where we potentially could find some support. So that's what we're going to get into today. If you get some from these videos, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you all being here with me today, and we're going to get into this. So what we're looking at here is Bitcoin on the 4-hour, and you can see how we've had these lower highs coming in right here, guys. And what I'm looking at is to see if we can get a bounce off this green horizontal line here at around $7,875. That's what I want to see defended. And the reason I say that is because we had a touch here. We've touched it here, twice over here. We have all this support over here. We've hit it over here. So this is an area where we've typically gotten some type of reaction or some type of bounce off of. And that's what we're looking for now. And also the candles, which we're going to zoom in on, are getting very tight. And whenever candles get very tight, or you get those small day candles, that's when you can expect some type of storm to be brewing. Do we know whether it's going to break to the upside or downside? We don't right now. But we're going to have a plan for both directions, whether it be we break to the upside or that downside. So let's zoom in here and we're going to take a look at this support area. So right now on the 4-hour chart, you can see right here where we started to get this reversal. And if you take a look at these candles, you can see the wicks and how we've had defense down here. So we've had the bulls stepping in, and we hit down around $7,981. So we'll call it around that $8,000 mark a few times. We hit it here, we hit it here, here, and here. And now what we're trying to do is reverse that. So we ended up having basically what we call almost like a hammer candle. There's a little bit of a wick on top, but we call it a hammer candle. Now we're trying to reverse out of here. And what's important is for us to start changing that trend, because you can see on the 4-hour here how we've really just been going down, these lower highs and lower lows. So what we need to do is try to get back up above this area here at 8,565 to really start trying to change the trend into higher highs and higher lows. But it's also going to start with these moving averages. As you can see on the 4-hour, in orange, that's our 9 EMA, and purple is going to be our 20 EMA. In pink, we're going to have our 50 moving average, and then in whites, our 200 EMA. And what's taking place, guys, you can see how the river's kind of opening up here. Whenever you get this fanning technique on the moving averages, whether it be from the 4-hour or the 1 day, whatever, it just depends on what you're charting on. If you're swing trading, day trading, or whatnot. But whenever these start to open up like that, that can be pretty strong pressure to the downside. And if they're fanning the opposite direction, then it could be good pressure to the upside, acting as good, strong support. But right now, we need to take each one of these moving averages and start having candle closes up above them. So it'd be nice for this 4-hour candle to close up above this 9 EMA, so we can come up here and next challenge this 20 EMA, where you can see that we wicked up to right now. But the main thing is just trying to change this trend. This is a lot of downward pressure that we've been having put on us here, but this is also an area where we had a lot of significant support. You know, we've had bullish engulfing candles down in this area. We've had a lot of wicks down in this area. You can even see how it's similar to the wicks that we're looking at over here. You can see them in this area, and we had a nice little run out of there. So we're just really paying attention to see if this is the spot that we're going to get that break and we start moving to the upside here, or if we're going to start crashing down through that 7,875 is what we'll call it. And guys, if we do break down through there, the next area I'm going to look at is around 7,341, and that's also going to be an area where we've had some support over here before, and where we also had a bullish engulfing candle on the 1-day chart right in this range around October 25th, 2019. So, you know, we really pushed up hard, guys. It was on a lot of volume, and now what we're trying to do is set that higher low somewhere in here. We don't want to start dropping down below this area. If we can set that higher low, then we can see if we can break out of this purple downtrend line. If we're able to get out of that, then we can really run hard, guys. Trend line breaks are very significant. If we do get a serious trend line break out of here, really wait for that candle close and also look for significant volume. And remember, that's going to be to the upside. Now, for our RSI, what we're looking at here on the 4-hour chart, let me bring this out. This is what I'm going to look at here. So you can see how we've had this downtrend line. We want to start having a break on this line graph or this RSI out of this trend line. That's typically pretty significant. When you do have a break, you can even see over here, guys, just to give you an example, and this will be a downside break. My eye just caught it, just a rough one. So we'd have something along this line. Just do this rough here. So we probably had about 3 touches in here, but you can see once we broke this trend line, our RSI went from 49 all the way down to 26. So that's why I'm trying to tell you to really be prepared for this in either direction, to the upside or the downside. Now, my alarms where I want to put my first alarm is going to be at 84.37. That's going to be right around that 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. So we'll throw that in there. And I want to see what we do once we start coming up to test that. And then to the downside, we're going to put it right on this horizontal line there. We're going to add alert to horizontal line. And let's create that. Next thing I want to do is go out to the 1 day with you, because remember, we're really looking at this change of trends. This is where we went from that beautiful, guys, intermediate to long-term uptrend right there. Now we're in that intermediate term downtrend. We don't want it to turn into one of those very long, downtrends to where you're in a long-term downtrend for 2 years, a year. And that's what can happen, just like we had on our previous bear market that we dealt with in 2018. And we're going to get into that here just a second. So if we step out here, guys, and really take a look at this and how these trends change. I mean, think about the power of just this 50-day moving average right here. When we lost the 50-day moving average, and there were a few times where we popped up above it a little bit, but truly when we lost that 50-day moving average right here at around $14,600, after that we just got rode by this 50 and this 200 day. And then what happened was we got a beautiful golden cross of the 50-day moving average, and that kind of set off this whole uptrend that we were dealing with. Yeah, we had this area of accumulation down in here where we started to make our moves and we were getting higher lows, but once we got that cross, that's when we really started to go parabolic. And what we have to pay attention to now on the 1 day chart is that we're crossing back down again, this 50-day crossing down through our 200. Now, since they're horizontal and they're moving sideways, it's not as significant as when you're trending up or you're trending down, but it's something you want to pay attention to, guys. You can see right there, and we had a bearish belt hold line candle right here, which is a strong candle to the downside. Volume's been very low, so we're just really walking that tightrope right now. We want to see if we find support where we're at. We can set a higher low and move up, guys, or if we're just going to start dumping back down. So that's what I want to bring for you today. Didn't want to make it too long of a video. Not a ton going on, but just be really careful because that storm is brewing. The candles are getting tight. We're walking that tightrope, and it's just going to see which way we end up breaking. Right now, the moving averages are pressing down upon us. So just remember that the trend right now is down. So be aware of that, guys. God bless you all. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Take care, my friends.